welcome to Taco Talk. We are currently filming inside of the wind tunnel.
You probably really thought we were in a wind tunnel. Well, psych.
Improv comedy at its finest.
And an air conditioner right behind the recorder. That helps too. But
no, it was a real wind tunnel. What
yeah.
are you talking about?
I'm sorry. We work for the Taco Talk is a subsidiary of the United States Air Force.
Obviously.
Yeah. We are special forces. Welcome to Taco Talk. I am your co-host, Far Superior. Got that in before you. Aiden Fletcher.
And I am your other, apparently less good co-host, Carson Kennedy.
Inferior.
My self-esteem definitely just took a hit.
Well, welcome to the third episode of Taco Talk, which by the title I am sure you know is named Dreams.
You already know.
Before we start, I did the same thing last episode. My cold has not subsided. I am in fact more nasally than I was last. So
and he's nasally to begin with as well, so it's really just a nightmare.
You're right. I have a huge nose. It makes me constantly nasally. But so today we are going to be talking dreams. And we're not talking like your aspirations,
get those out of here.
Like what you want to do later in life. Like, oh, I want to become a CEO of a big company. No, you aren't. Stop dreaming it. No, we're talking about you lay down, you go to sleep, you have a dream.
Exactly. Before we start, I'd just like to say we are almost at 100. 100. That's
landmark
3 digits.
Number.
That's a 1. And that's 2 zeros after it.
Digits.
100 subscribers. Okay.
Yeah. We're currently at 80. At the time of the filming of this video, we are at 80 subscribers. Now I'm sure when we post that there's a new video out, we're gonna get a little spike, maybe like up to 85 or something like that.
Oh, 85.
Ooh. But are we in the wind tunnel again?
I'm trying to generate wind with nothing but my t-shirt.
But 100 would be a great landmark. We'd love to reach it with you, our fellow taco talkers, our gringos.
That would be, as the cool kids say, fire, my dude. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's Wednesday, my dudes. Which Wednesday is the launch of a new little skit, a new little segment, little ditty of Taco Rock Productions, featuring yours truly and his truly. It is called Pico de Gaming.
Exactly.
And will include us playing classic video games.
I want to see you on Wednesday. I want to see you hitting that refresh button on the Taco Rock Productions.
Yeah, you better have that notification
bell. You just gotta smash that notification bell now. So the minute that drops, you already know.
Like after a football game when they smash you gotta smash the bell. Okay, smash that like button. Bell.
And the like button.
And
don't forget the like button. And tell your friends about this YouTube channel. Because if you tell your friends, we'll get to 100 closer.
Do you think that's enough shameless plugging?
No.
Are we not shameless enough?
If we
have no shame.
So once we get to 100, if you think about it, we're already 1/10 to 1,000.
Yeah, and once we get to 1,000, 4 digits, people, quadruple digits. Once we get there, we can be monetized.
So this is
monetization in the nation.
This is what I'm talking about right here. If we get to 1,000 subscribers, Fletch and I will take a shot of Tabasco hot sauce.
And then eat
for your enjoyment.
Yeah, cut like a drenched Tabasco taco. That'll be done. Mm-hmm. It'll be done for your enjoyment. Okay.
Exactly. So make sure you're sharing it. Make sure you're telling all your friends about it.
Son. But well, let's get down to talking taco with today's taco topic. You just have to work taco into literally every sentence, or something Mexican. Dreams. I'm gonna let you start us off here, Carson. Tell us about dreams. What are they? Where do they come from?
Okay.
What's a dream?
Let me preface this a little bit, okay? I'm a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
I love telling stories. So sometimes I'll have a kooky dream. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you're saying. Believe me, I have some kooky dreams, okay?
I'll have some kooky dreams, and all I want to do is I want to get to class the next day, and I want to tell Fletch all about it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I would never lie about my dreams.
No,
you know
but
what I'm saying?
you know what? Some people are.
Some people do.
Have you ever met, like, big pet peeve, dream exaggerators? They come up and they're like, man, I gotta tell you about this crazy dream I had last night. And
it's like you're comparing dreams, and then you have, like, a kooky dream, so they exaggerate or add on to their dream to make it sound weirder or crazier than yours.
One guy's
calm down, okay?
I had a dream where I ran my own company, and the other guy's like, I had a dream where I was a president, and the other guy was like, I had a dream where I ran the world, and the other guy's like, I had a dream where I was Thanos, okay? Well,
because he runs the universe.
Exactly.
Now, ladies and gents.
Snap. I can't snap. Little known taco fact, I cannot snap my fingers. All these years, I cannot snap my fingers. I can't even whistle well.
Fletch, should we hire you like a life coach to teach you how to do these things?
I think you do need to hire me a life coach. I think
that's the only...
Hey, if there are any life coaches listening to Taco Talk today, I would because we are doing God's work. We would like God's work.
That is right.
We would like you to help enable us to do God's work, and therefore you are doing God's work yourself.
Think about it. That's how it works.
Exactly. Like it's God's work, people.
It's God's work.
Can I get an amen from the congregation? If you are not standing up in geometry, right? If you're not mowing the lawn, listening to this, and just stop, pause, and yell, "Amen, hallelujah." Okay, if you don't do that, you're not a real taco talker.
What are you even a gringo?
Exactly.
Is the thing.
So does that mean you accept that as the official...
Fletch, you have just...
This gringo... I'm going to keep saying
You have just been heavily pounding me with the whole gringo thing. I feel like at this point it's cemented in.
I think if you cement an idea enough in someone's head, it becomes like, ooh, Inception.
No, I know what you're saying.
Inception.
Ooh, what a good movie.
Now,
it's right over there, too.
I mean, this is perfect because we're talking dreams. Inception. If you have not seen the movie...
Everything's a dream.
You 100% have to see the movie. Carson saw it just the other month. Oh, it is amazing. So,
classic.
Let's give you the plot rundown.
That is my man, Christopher
It is
Nolan.
Christopher Nolan film. It's a movie in which people can enter other people's dreams. It's like and it's not
cheesy either. Like,
oh, not at all.
It sounds a little bit off,
like,
but it actually
you can enter people's dreams. Like that sound. No,
it's like that episode of SpongeBob.
It is 0% dream. Oh, the one where they go into like Gary's dream and stuff. Yeah, and it turns out he's a genius and has like a personal library. But like, so in this one,
he woke up in the night in terrible fright to find that his dream had come true.
Follows Leonardo DiCaprio, right, who is an international dream shyster, and he
a dream shyster.
A dream shyster. So
then Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in it too.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt, he did a great job in that movie. It's just so good, and like they have a great soundtrack. It's so clever. And like, again, I talked about this in the last 2 episodes. The use of practical effects in that movie. So there's a scene, right? Where they're inside a hotel, and because it's a dream, things get kooky, okay? So
you know how it be.
So the room starts turning, like at 360 degrees, it starts rotating, right? And they're running up and down the walls, and they're fighting. It's Joseph Gordon-Levitt's fighting another one of the bad guys, one of the insurgents' forces. Yeah. So they're fighting on the walls and everything, and pew, pew, shooting and stuff. But like, you think, oh, I wonder how they did this. Like, that's some amazing CG. No, it isn't. They actually built a custom hallway that turned on a 360-degree rotation, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt and the other actor had to learn how to fight on that like soundstage.
They were definitely doing God's work.
It's amazing. Like I definitely think, like, if you're interested, you should 100% give that a look on YouTube. Like, it's amazing. Sure. But
so dreams.
Yeah, I categorize, like, I don't often, I'll be honest, though this episode may be dreams, I'm not an avid dreamer. It's not I have dreams, and usually when I have a dream, it's some kooky dream, okay? It's a weird...
Absolutely kooky.
It is a weird dream, but when I don't. Like, I think sometimes I wake up in the morning wanting to remember something. Like I have a vague semblance of something. Like I'll remember an object, like a piece of cake or something. Something like very like small, like, or a computer or a game or something like that. Like some small item that I know played a part in the dream I inevitably had last night, but I cannot remember the rest of it.
Like the second you wake up, you're like, oh, what a great dream. And then you like
then a minute
check
later,
your phone for a minute and you're like, wait a minute, what?
Exactly.
I know I had a dream.
Like it's very rare.
But I don't know really what happened.
It is very rare that I have a dream and I wake up and I can remember it for. So like, this episode, the dreams we're sharing here, like it's something that's ingrained in my memory.
Yeah.
So like I categorize I think there is the happy dream, like the dream where you wake up and you're like, oh, that was nice. Like I saw, like I talked to my mom, or I said something to my, like something like, something that makes
the happy
you happy.
Dream. I know what you mean.
You know what I'm saying? Like something that wasn't outlandish, like you had a conversation with your grandma. Like something not outlandish, but you wake up and you're happy. Then
the way you built that sentence, it made it sound like having a conversation with your grandma was outlandish. You're like, it's not something outlandish like having a conversation with your grandma. I was like,
The outlandish part would be like grandma growing 2 heads. It's not
grandma growing 2 heads and eating you.
Then after that comes the outlandish dream, like the weird, just like when you're having this dream, like things like you think like, oh, that could happen.
That could happen.
Like in the dream, like I think
it makes perfect sense in the dream.
There's like real reality and then there's like dream reality, like dream physics.
Like there's different rules there. Okay?
Like you're like, oh, because that would happen. Like you pass by a house that's actually a toaster and you're like, well, I mean, I've seen one of those before. Who hasn't? Like, no, you haven't.
Toaster house. And I've seen it.
It's not until you wake up and you're like, oh my gosh, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
What was I on last night?
We're definitely sharing some of our outlandish dreams.
Yeah.
And kind of the same rule applies to like scary dreams. Mm-hmm. Like when you're having them, you're like sweating. You're like, I'm so scared.
I'm gonna die now. But then you wake
actually chuckles.
Then you wake up and you're like, I just had a dream about a giant chicken chasing me. And during it, you're like, that's a nightmare. Afterwards, you're like,
what just happened to me?
Then you have the dream where, like, everything in the dream goes so good that you wake up and you're like,
you're like you're so convinced it's reality because everything is just tied up in a perfect little bow.
Exactly. That's why you should watch Inception, by the way. But you wake up and you're like, oh.
And you're just
but where is everything that I just?
And you're just like, I just had it. Well, think about it.
Like you had it all. Yeah. Then you wake up and you're like, now I got to go to school.
There's an alternate universe where
it
actually did happen.
You know, that's one like. I think about that sometimes. Like, if there's an alternate universe for everything, right?
Yeah,
like, every single little impossibility. Like, sometimes I just get kicks out of thinking about, like, what's happening in another one right now. Like, in another one, we are doing this on the Eiffel Tower right now. Like, there's a universe where we are in Paris doing this on the Eiffel Tower. Like,
there's also a universe where Fletch is a good co-host. Think about that, guys.
Ooh. That was a low blow right there, Carson. Okay.
If you want to hear like two good friends roasting each other, you've come to the right place.
Exactly. Oh, Luke Leach's comment.
Leach.
Oh, what a guy!
Shout out to him.
Shout out to Luke Nunez. Oh, Senor. Senor. I called him like for like the first 2 weeks of school. I thought he was a senior, right? Because I thought, Gabe, he's a senior then, right? No. And so I constantly called him senior, and then we're in the same Spanish class first period. So that evolved into, hola, senor. So yeah, Luke Leach, senor, how you doing?
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. But
anyway, the one thing I hate a lot is like when you have a dream and you're like, aha, that's such a kooky dream, and you don't immediately forget it, and then you're like, yo, I gotta tell Fletch about this or something.
And then you get
I go to school and I'm like, wait, I didn't
No.
And then I was like,
you get there and you're like,
I tell what I know of the story, but then there's like
very
something
vague
missing out of it, and
details.
I'm like, I swear that was supposed to be funny.
Exactly.
Then I run away crying.
Something that you think, like, I woke up from a dream once and I like instantly wrote it down. I think I was like
That's
10.
what you got to do. Dream
I was
journal.
like 10 and I was like, ooh, this would make like a good movie. I need to write it down. But like honestly, I think that's like, I wish I could remember all my dreams because I'd love to do that because I think
If
like
I could have a superpower,
it'd be remembering dreams.
Well, it'd be controlling my dreams first of all, and also that.
Do you get like, I have some dreams sometimes where I consciously know it's like, sometimes you think like, no, this is the real world, this is what's actually happening. But then there's those dreams where you're like conscious that it's a dream, right?
No,
so you can
I don't remember
control the
specifically,
dream.
but I'm sure that has happened.
Like I'm in a dream and I'm like flying and I'm like, wait, no, this is a dream. So then you like do whatever you want and it's great. So I think that's a good segue into what have our dreams like what dreams fall into these categories for us.
Exactly.
I'm gonna start off with one kooky dream. Okay.
Kooky dream.
We've said kooky so many times in this episode. Like too many. Is there too many times to say kooky?
Definitely not.
No.
Okay.
Exactly. We're doing God's work. We can say
doing
kooky as
God's
many
work.
times as we need. But so I had a dream. It's
literally in the Bible. It says, "He shall not be kooky." You know what I'm saying?
And he shall make taco talk.
He shall do God's work.
I had this dream when I was like 7 or 8, and I have never forgotten it. Right? So I mean, like, I don't remember a bunch of details, but I remember. Okay, so let me set it up.
Let me take you back.
It's in the middle of like a national park, like in the forest, right? Like these huge sequoias all around, and I am sitting in a pink inflatable pool with Bigfoot.
Obviously.
That's like, I will never forget that one. Mm-hmm. Like what does that mean? Like, I am in a national park in a pink inflatable pool with Bigfoot. What, like, and I'm not
like,
sure.
Is there like a dream doctor that tells you what your dreams mean?
I'm sure.
This means you suffer from incompetence.
Yeah, it's something very common in men your age, actually. Dream incompetence.
Dream incompetence.
Yeah, but it's just like such a weird, like.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense. But
yeah.
I'm sure when you're having it,
I'm like, Bigfoot. It's Bigfoot. Yeah, like Bigfoot.
I'm in the forest. Of course, Bigfoot's
I've
here.
known him for years.
I've known him for years. He's my man.
Exactly. He is my godfather.
He was my best man.
Yeah, at my wedding, Bigfoot was my best man. Yeah, 100% will be. And the Loch Ness Monster was my wife's bridesmaid. Yeah, Nessie is female, by the way. Just to let you know, for your information, FYI.
That's why it's Nessie and not Nesser.
That's why they call it murder and not muck duck. Shout out to The Office.
R is among the most menacing sounds in the English language. That's why it's called murder and not muck duck.
Such a good show. Parks and Rec and BoJack Horseman are better though. Okay. Yeah.
Anyway,
you should watch it.
I'll now be sharing one of my kooky dreams.
Tell me your kookiness, Carson.
Now this is like the oldest kooky dream I can actually remember most of it to. Okay.
Bring us back.
Let me take you. We're on the sand planet of Tatooine.
Now you have me reeled in already, Carson. Tell me what happened on Tatooine.
So all I remember, okay. So we're walking through the desert. It's hot, you know. Mm-hmm. It's a desert.
Yeah.
There's heat.
The two suns are.
We're going over the sand dunes, and then there's this little hut. It's kind of like an igloo, but made of like sandstone stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, this is quaint.
Quaint.
I said that in my dream.
You remember?
No, I didn't do that. Quaint. No, I didn't do that. So then I walked into the igloo, and then there were just stairs going down. So I go down the stairs, and what is it but a giant hangar full of pod racers? Are they called pod racers? The actual vehicle.
Yeah.
Full of pod racers, okay? And there's a bunch of people. There's a whole hubbub, you know? Uh-huh. They're all getting in pod races. They're all souping it up. I was like, wow, a race is going down here.
A race is going down on Tatooine in little Carson's
And there are
head.
a couple people from, like, my grade there. Because
Yeah.
You know, that usually happens.
Yeah, people make their way into dreams, which I mean later I'll get into some of that with some of the dreams.
Yeah,
I've
like
had, but,
sometimes I'll like have dreams about people, and then
and
I'll
like
be
I'm
like,
why were they in my dream?
like I don't think about them.
yeah, like
why are they
I
in my
never
dream?
never like in the real world am I like they don't pop into my head. But then I have a dream that's like focused on that person. Like
Then
why?
the next time you see them, you're just like,
So tell
So anyway.
how was that pod race, Carson?
So anyway, I'm like, yeah, I'll enter in a pod race.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Who wouldn't? I mean, when you're on Tatooine,
basically-
do as the Tatooines do.
There's actually one part of like the race course that I actually do remember, and it was part where you're driving, and then you like dove into the water.
Uh-huh.
I'm pretty sure this dream was heavily inspired by video games I'd played the night before.
Yeah.
So like I go down into this pool of water, and then there are demons there, like actual
Demons?
like they're throwing. What are they called? Like the they're throwing big forks at us.
Big forks. They're throwing the
pitchforks.
The hell
The
forks
hell
at
forks.
us. Okay.
And like they're knocking people off. They're like blowing up pod racers and
Come
stuff.
on,
I was like,
come
this
on.
is not fair. So
What
I
jerky demons?
So I see someone, getting attacked. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna turn around. I'm gonna help him.
Yeah.
So and then after I do that, I end up losing the race.
You.
And my dad was the one who
Did
was
you-
presenting the medals.
Did
It's
you
not
pull
pertinent.
Did you pull a Lightning McQueen and you helped?
Yeah,
you
I
helped
did.
the other guy
Mhm.
across the line.
That was exactly
It's
it.
Dinoco Blue. Okay.
Dinoco Blue. What a good franchise.
Yeah.
Second one, not so much.
Third one, I didn't watch it. But the first
it actually
one,
wasn't terrible.
the first one, that's a good one. I'm not
Anyway.
gonna say good franchise. I'm gonna say good singular movie. Okay.
So
continue.
anyway, my dad was the one presenting the medals, and I had to see him give like the first place medal that would have been mine, obviously, because I'm a god. I had to see him
Well,
give
when
it to
you're
someone
doing
else.
God's work,
When you're doing God's work,
who did he give it
obviously.
to? Do you remember who he gave it to?
No.
No. Was it? Do you think
But
it was
then,
like someone?
I
from
remember
class?
I threw a fit because I was talking smack about these demons. You're like, you're kidding me.
They
It's
threw
like,
those
I
hell
obviously would've
forks
won.
at you. If they wouldn't have thrown the hell forks, you
So
would have
then-
been golden.
And then the demons come up and they apologize. I'm like, oh.
The demons
Yeah,
apologize.
no, listen, this is the best part. Everything else kind of has a little bit of structure, but this is where it really goes off the rails. So the demons are talking to me, and they're like, I'm sorry, we turned into demons. We didn't choose to be demons. I was like, oh, this is going to be sad. And then they're like, when we were younger, our mom force-fed us hot sauce, and that's how we became demons. So hot sauce demons, ladies and gentlemen. I'm turning it back over to Fletch before.
That's how you make
I
a
have a
demon.
mental
Hot
sauce demons.
Now, like, when it comes to kookiness, okay, like, I think for
the
me,
kookiness for both of us, it's there. Okay?
like, yeah, the kookiness is there. I always have these dreams that are like weird, like that, like, for one, like there was, I forget who it was, but some classmate was stuck in like this cloud prison, right? Like a prison in the clouds,
Obviously.
right? And so I saved him. But then I swear, like, I'm not sure if you
swear.
have this happen. Like, I have those dreams that I'm not sure if it's reoccurring or if it all happens in the same night. Because, like, I'm having this dream. I'm having this dream, and I'm like, this has happened before. But then I wake up and I'm like, but I don't remember that happened, like, previously. I feel like I just had a double dream in the same night, and it was just the same dream.
You know what it kind of reminds me of is deja vu. You know how
Exactly.
deja vu, you're like, this has happened before.
Uh-huh.
But I've been thinking,
Dream-ja vu.
I've been thinking
Do
recently.
tell us in the comments, do you experience dream-ja vu? Because I think
Dream-ja vu.
it is 100% a thing for me.
No, but I'm thinking about deja vu. And it feels like your brain is like, I remember this happening before. But what if it didn't happen before and your brain is like inserting a memory of it happening before at that very moment?
Your brain
That
is
messes me up. That blows my mind.
Your brain is inceptioning you. Because, like,
Think-
okay, so you think, like, I'm not sure if this is a dream that happened double tonight, or if I had actually had this dream previously and it's like a reoccurring thing. But then I wonder, like, I now have this memory of this dream happening multiple times over the span of, like, months or something.
And if you think about it and you think it's a recurring dream, it's actually more likely to probably happen again.
Exactly. And so your brain is making you have a dream. Like, I think your brain inceptions you on like a minuscule level. Like, because like there's some dreams that I wake up and then like you forget about the dream actually happening, right? Like we were saying. But some of those memories become like, I'm just saying that they become ingrained, right? Like if you have a dream and it's like really vivid and like there's some like key aspects, stuff that like would actually happen, like small like sometimes I wonder, like I'm talking with my parents or something, I'm talking about a memory, like a memory vivid to me.
Yes.
And then they're like, but you never went there, or that never happened in your entire life. Like, I sometimes think, like, did I have a dream where this happened? Because, like, and then I just think it happened. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I honestly think I have multiple times, like, made a dream into a personal memory.
Yeah. No, I have a perfect example of this. So, when I was younger, I am confident that I one day got really angry and punched my older brother in the face. They claim that never happened. They don't remember it.
Exactly.
That could be a thing. I mean, I was young, like, must have been young.
Exactly. Like, there...
And I swear I have memories of me, like, crawling around as a baby. Like...
That nobody...
But, like, how would I have that memory,
Exactly. Like, at that point, you're not, like... You can't capture
And my dad...
much.
I swear my... Okay, I think this is dream... It seemed realistic in my head, but now that I'm saying it, my dad had an afro, which didn't happen.
Never had. Your dad never... I could not see your dad with an afro.
So yeah, definitely a dream. Forget I said that.
Shout out to Brett Kennedy. But, so I definitely think that happens.
Yeah, when I was younger, I had this recurring dream all the time. And ironically, I don't remember what it was. It wasn't a nightmare per se, but it didn't make me feel good. It made me feel bad.
Oh my gosh.
And I hated having
that.
That remembered me.
That remembered me. Okay, I have no idea how to explain it. Even I remember even back in the day when I had it, I could, like, when I woke, like in the dream, it was so vivid, so real, such a like a big part of my life. And then you wake up and you're like, but what even was it? Like, I don't. So this is what I remember, like vague, very vague things. I remember a dream where I'm stuck. I'm like very claustrophobic. I'm stuck in this, I don't know what, like this room. It's bigger, but there's no way out of it. I don't have food. I don't have water. And there was something about the room that was just off, like off-putting. And I had this dream multiple times. And whenever I had it, it terrified me to no end. Like, it was awful. The worst feeling I've ever had in a dream was that right there. And, like, I haven't had the dream, like, ever since I was 10. It's weird, but, like, that's the kind of dream that, like, ingrains itself in my memory.
I've had another recurring dream. I don't even know if it's a dream because what I'm about to say doesn't make any sense. I can hardly explain it. It's not a nightmare, but I wake up, like, nervous, I'd say is probably the word, and I'm just like, I don't know what's going on. So, I'm like scared of something? I'm gonna speak in terms of cameras and movies because that's the only way I know how to convey what's happening. So say the camera of my dream, my perspective, is in the corner, like the top corner of my room, okay? And I'm looking out over my entire room. And
like
then
one of those third-person dreams. Those can be a little weird.
And say there's like a tiny, like minuscule little cube in the very corner of my room. Now my dream is that the cube has to move all the way around the perimeter of the room, except it's so small and it moves so slowly it takes forever. I'm like, oh no, this is gonna take forever. And then the room keeps getting bigger. I'm like, no, this is gonna take even longer. And
that's your dream?
It freaks me out.
It's anxiety. Like, that's major anxiety right there. Like, you're like, but the cube isn't going to get all the way around.
Yeah, no.
And that's what gives you
it's about to get wild.
That's what gives you the
how
sweats
I said it just goes around the perimeter?
Yeah.
Then, oh god, it really gets insane when it becomes a grid and you have to fill in the entire volume of the room with this tiny little cube. I'm like, this is going to take forever. And that's when I wake up. I'm like, thank God.
That is a living hell right there.
That's like a geometry-fueled nightmare.
Is this one of those dreams, like you have those dreams that feel like they last a lifetime?
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Logically, it shouldn't scare me, but it does.
Like, when you go to sleep, like sometimes this is something that eats away at me too. Like I think they did this in Rick and Morty at one time, right? So Rick and Morty, they go to this one like space arcade, and Rick's like, "Hey Morty, try this game," and he plugs him in, right?
Hey Morty, you gotta try this game.
So he plugs him into the game, and Morty's laying down.
Oh, jeez, Rick, I'll try it.
The screen goes black, and he just wakes up, right? But he's a little kid. So and it doesn't look like him, like it's a whole other kid. And a mom comes into the room. And he's like, "Mom, I just had this dream where an old man and I were at an arcade." And she's like, honey, it's just a dream. And then he lives out his whole life, right, until in his 60s he dies, and then he wakes up as Morty again because it was just a game, and the game was where you lived someone else's life. So Morty lived like 60 some years of a life, and then he just woke up. And I have had dreams like that.
What if we are someone else's dream right now, Fletch? Think about that.
That's
if that's
pretty
the case,
meta right
whoever said we're in, I apologize for the
think
noise.
Hey.
And secondly,
you're a genius.
You must be blessed to have two little dream people doing God's work in your own mind.
This little creative duo here. But like, I had a dream once.
But
like, this is one of those dreams that like part nightmare, part like super realistic dream. Like, it's not something that scares me because it was like unfathomable. It was something that scared me because it could actually happen.
No.
And like I woke up.
Okay, horror movie wise, the supernatural stuff does not scare me as much as the
stuff
actual
that could
stuff.
happen. So like, I had this dream, and I swear it lasted like 10 years, where I lived through my mom having cancer. So I lived through all of that.
That got really...
And she went through chemo and everything, and she beat it, and then it came back, and then in the end she dies. And
what type of dreams are you
having?
having?
And then I woke up, and I was so sad. I think I had some tears in my eyes, and I just walk over. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I walk over to my mom's room, and I wake her up. I'm like, "Mom?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." And I walked back. Like,
Mom, yeah, okay.
Like,
walks away in tears.
It made me so sad. Like, they're just those dreams that, like, you wake up and you're like sad. Like, I've had dreams where like unrealistic ones too. Like, I had a dream where so I went to sleep, and then I wake up, right? And I'm in my parents' bed, and my mom's there screaming, and my dad is floating in the air. He's grown 2 heads, and like...
What are you talking about?
And like, they have like...
What's up with you and growing 2 heads?
Razor sharp teeth, right? And they're like coming after me. And then like the police come and they kill him, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, my dad's dead. And then I wake up, and I'm again super sad, like, oh my gosh, I don't have a dad anymore. And then he turned into a 2-headed monster and was shot by the police.
That's tragic.
But then like a minute later, I'm like, what was I thinking? Like, really? Like, I was sad because I thought my dad grew 2 heads? Like, what?
One time, I had a dream where Landon was killed by orcs. Listen
it
up.
Sounds like a Colin
No,
dream
listen
right
up.
there.
He was kidnapped, okay? He was in the Dean Center, oddly enough. And it was me, Aragorn, well, that's illogical.
Uh-huh.
Then Jesus Christ, like actually Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
And then
superstar.
another guy, Ben Davis, he's from Wellsboro, completely just sprinkled in there with Aragorn and Jesus.
Again,
we were the company to save Landon.
Like
okay?
we were talking about.
The floor was actually lava, by the way.
The floor was lava. You're in Mount Doom right here.
And he just died. We couldn't save
like
him.
we
so
were
sorry
talking about
that.
like we were
Dream
talking
Landon.
about earlier. Like, you have these dreams where there's people in it that you'd never like think about in real life, and yet they're like a pivotal part of your dream. Like Ben Davis is just in your dream. Like what? Like what?
I don't think it's so weird that Ben Davis was in my dream.
What's up with
I think it's weird that he was with
Aragorn
and Jesus as
yeah,
well.
like what kind of party is that to go save your brother?
Sounds like a pretty lit party, to be honest.
Like, I had a dream where I was on a road trip with a friend who's now off at college, right? And like, I went on a road trip, and that was the dream. But like, I have never thought on going on a road trip with this person. That's never popped into my head. And I haven't like thought of this person in like forever. And then just pivotal part of my dream. I don't understand it. I don't get it. And then like, there are those dreams where you have someone pop in and you like never expect it to, but then it becomes so real. So I had this dream the other day.
Oh,
I already told
Lord.
Carson about it. So I had a dream where a friend was over at my house. A friend that has never been to my house. Tyler. Let's just say Tyler. I don't want to keep saying last names.
Yeah, last names are done.
So Tyler's at my house, right? And then I go over and like, okay, so I don't 100% believe in banks. Like I'm not.
This is not the dream, okay? This is
not
real
the
life.
dream. This is in
right
real
now.
life. I don't 100% believe in banks. I'm not like I don't need to give someone all my money and only get 1% interest or 2% interest because of it. Like I'm not about that. I'd rather just have my money because it comforts me. Like I'm one of those people that like I'm money comforts. To have my money.
You think feathers are in that pillowcase? Think again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
There's a reason I get a crick in my neck, and it's because I sleep on cat. No,
He's sleeping on hard cash.
So I have this dream where
He's
Tyler's
sleeping on gold bricks.
where Tyler's over at my house, right? And then he steals all my money. Okay, so I wake up and I go like not wake up, like dream wake up, like
dream wake up.
I wake up and I walk over to where I keep it in an undisclosed location. And like this is a place that nobody.
Seeing as how you woke up and you walked to it, it can't be that far away.
Well, like I mean, walk to it, got like it takes a
Walk
a little
to it, flew to it, drove to it.
But like
it's it's all relative.
Like well, I mean, really, you can walk anywhere. I mean, I could walk to Africa right now if I constantly walked around a ferry. Yeah, if you walk to a boat, right, and then you just constantly keep walking around it, you're still walking to Africa.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Okay, let's get back.
Can you walk to the moon? Can you really?
You can walk.
That is
you cannot walk to the moon.
Can you walk to the sun?
We're not getting. This is a dream discussion, Carson. We're not talking real world physics. So I walked over to it, and this is a place no one would ever look for money, right? So I think like it's like 100% safe in my opinion. And I open it up, and it's filled with chocolate bars, and it's not money. No money is there, and I'm having a heart attack, right?
You're like my $4,000.
And I'm like, Tyler, and that's like I end screaming Tyler, like you stole my money, and then I wake up, and I was like real world wake up, and I was fuming, like so mad.
You screamed Tyler, and the camera zoomed out from above, and then it said directed by Carson Kennedy.
And like I was so mad, and so I walk up, and I'm like fuming, and I walk over to where I have my money, and I open it up, and it's there, and I'm like, oh, I guess Tyler's all right then.
Yes, but I'm watching you.
Yeah, like
Fletch never trust again.
I'm keeping my eye on. I'm keeping my eyes.
I'm one of the few people who actually know where this money is.
Do you know where it is? Do you know where my money is? I don't think I
don't know the exact.
He has held my money. He is not.
It's the most money I've ever held in my life, to be honest. Like dead serious. Like holding it in my hand. That's the most money I've ever had in my hand at one time.
Well, I'm glad to be your enabler. In this
For those who don't know, Fletch is making serious bank out here. So if you want to rob someone,
if you want to rob someone, rob Carson Kennedy. He has you have a $2,000 guitar, 1,000 something. Steal that from him, okay? Leave my money in.
If you touch that guitar, I will end you. Okay.
He will end you, okay, Tyler? He will end you, Tyler. Okay. But
Fletch, you'd be the guy to steal my guitar though, and then resell it on eBay for like $5,000.
I'm gonna shout out to my eBay store. I'm shameless. I'm gonna be selling his sister's Xbox One with 2 controllers and multiple games later. So if anybody wants that for $200, yeah, buy it.
Hit us up.
Hit us, DM me, search me out, and I will sell it to you. But yeah. Now, so we've gotten past the dream where someone like weird comes into it. I like we got past the dream where a family member dies. Those are always like. I've had a lot of those. Like, it's scary to me. Like, it makes me, like, oof. But, like...
It makes me oof.
It makes me triple O oof. Not double. Triple O oof.
That's oof.
Oof. So, now, what's on to the next one? we're on to the next version of dream. I'll have Carson start off with this. When you wake up and you're like, the dream went so good, and then you wake up and you're like, oh, depression.
Don't even get me started with this.
Like quadruple ooh.
It's like
ooh.
Many of you are familiar with the Christmas dream. Like you wake up and it's Christmas morning, even though it's really like February or something. So you wake up and it's Christmas morning, you run downstairs and you get all these awesome presents. You're like, yeah, and you wake up, then you're like, none of that was real, and now I want to cry.
Exactly. Yeah.
I never had a Christmas morning dream, okay? I had freaking dreams where I like started a family and I had a perfect life and stuff.
You have that too? I have a dream where I met like my dream woman, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Exactly.
And then like, you're like,
I have 2 beautiful children. We go and visit my parents.
Like
we
watch the sunset on the beach every night.
And I ended up successful. Like I'm driving my favorite car to work every day, and I love my job. And my kids are just the sweetest, and my wife is the best, and she's an amazing cook. She can speak Spanish, and
that is a must.
And then you wake up and you're like, no, I'm 15.
I'm 15.
I'm still in my room, and I have to go to school, and I didn't do my homework from last night. Like that's and like so much depression. Like, oh,
it's terrible.
I had a dream where like I haven't had one of these dreams for a while. I don't remember any specifics, but I know I've had them. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like I've had these when I was like 10, like 11.
Uh-huh.
Like someone of that age should not be thinking about these things necessarily, but I am, and it like, depresses me.
So, because then you're like, but
you're just like, yeah, that's the only thing. It's just like
such like a pain in your heart. Like you. Like, imagine.
Like, that has, like, just waking up from a dream like that has ruined my day. Like, I was
exactly.
upset
Like,
the whole
I was
rest
so
of the day.
happy in that dream, and then you wake up and you're like, imagine, right, if your parents...
You're just like, everything sucks and I run up...
Like, if my dad woke up right now and he found out that all of this was a dream, like, I don't know what he'd do. Like, if I woke up and I found out my entire life was a dream, like, I don't know what I'd do with myself. Like, if I found out Taco Talk was a dream...
Taco Talk
is something that's in my head, and it's not really happening. I don't even know, guys. But, yeah.
That would be very
I had a dream.
sad.
I remember I had a dream, right? Where I fake woke up, but I woke up in the same place where I normally wake up. Like, you're in the same bed, right? And a genie pops up, and he's like, hey, I'm a genie. Yeah, we're real. And I'm going to give you anything you want if you wish underneath your pillow. Like, you had to whisper your wish underneath your pillow, and then it'll show up underneath your pillow, right? So then I'm like, oh.
Oh, you already know.
Okay. And I'm like, what am I going to...
I wish for 1,000 subs.
I'm like, what am I going to... I wish for 1 million. I'm like, what
am I
wish
for 1 billion.
I wish for a trillion.
I wish for 10 trillion.
I wish for a sextillion subs. But I had a... Starbucks subs, Subway subs, by the way, footlongs. But
what are you talking about?
So I was like, little 10-year-old me. Okay, I've collected so many things throughout my life. It's not even funny. That's for another episode. But long story short, at one point I collected coins and like other money.
Yeah, because every day you're gonna be like, I'm gonna start this hobby.
Exactly.
And you never do it.
Well, I do it, and then I stop a few months later. And that's the problem, because I have so much stuff from all of these things hobbies I've done. Like, I've made wine.
God.
Like, that was a thing. I didn't drink it, on the record. That's not something.
He is underage, believe it or
not.
Yeah,
I didn't, that's something I gave to, my grandfather for Christmas. Shout out to my grandpa. But, like,
he probably
stuff like...
tried one sip and threw it away because it was awful.
No, he still kept the bottle, actually. I mean, he drank it all.
He probably poured it all out in the shower.
Yeah, that's 100% what he did. He's like, I love you, Aiden.
But I love you, but this is trash.
I use it to clean my sink. But,
what is this? Cabernet Fletcher 2015?
So, but back to the dream. So I thought genies were real, right? And I'm going to whisper something under my pillow, and I used to collect coins. So I'm like, okay... Why wish, I could wish for $1 million, or I could wish for the rarest coin ever, and then sell it for $2 million. So I did that. That was my decision. So then I whispered, I'm like, can I get the rarest coin ever? I really want that. And then the dreamy's like, genie in the dream genie's like, go to sleep, wake up, it'll be there. So I dream go to sleep, and then I real wake up, and I'm like so happy, and I look under my pillow, and there's nothing. It's air. That was the most, like, I was so sad. I was like, but the coin.
Dreamy.
You lied, Dreamy.
No, the worst is like the dreams that like something happens in your dream, and then you wake up and you realize that happened because of something that actually happened in the physical world. Like one time I had a dream, I don't remember any of the specifics, but long story short, I was in a boat and it capsized. Okay?
Yeah.
And then I wake up on my floor and my actual mattress is on top of me. So what I have a very narrow bed. So what I think the mattress was a bit off center, and then I rolled over and I hit the edge of the mattress and it flopped over the side of the bed onto the floor with me under it.
I'm just imagining that happening to you, like you just flopping like a
this happened
whale
like
over.
2 weeks ago. Like this was not a long time ago.
That's even better though. So
or like
I haven't often fell out of my bed. Like it's not
I do a lot.
Like
because I have a narrow bed.
Like I sleep in a way that like I don't often fall off my bed. I usually sleep to one corner, and because my bed's pushed against a wall, like I don't often fall off it. But then I have those times where I do fall off my bed. So like I'm having a great dream, and then I feel something move, and like in the dream, like everything feels different, and then I just like hit the ground, and I'm like, and I'm like there, and I'm like.
One time I straight up, when I was younger, I used to have a bunk bed, but I was the only person who slept in my room. One time I straight up went to bed on the top bunk, woke up on the bottom bunk.
Have you ever had those weird things happen, like, while you're sleeping that you can't explain? Like, weird things. Like, for example...
Oh, my word. I have the best weird thing story.
My parents were telling me about this, they were telling me about this the other day. And then this will segue into another topic after this. But, so, I guess, at one point, my parents woke up to, like, they heard someone talking and whimpering. So they walk out into the hallway, and there is 4-year-old me huddled into a corner, like crying and rocking back and forth in the fetal position. Like, what happened?
What happened to me?
They could find no trace of like anything. Like, I think like weird things, you know?
Maybe like someone like broke into your house and like threatened you at gunpoint. And it was so traumatic you don't even remember.
And then you're like, if you don't get into this corner and rock in the fetal position, I will shoot up this house right now.
That's terrible.
So tell me.
I have a couple unexplained things.
Tell me about
my brother, Holden, okay? He's the member of the family that's always sleepwalking.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Holden's a sleepwalker. Huh, learn something new every day.
So, I wasn't awake for this, obviously. But my dad, I have 2 Holden stories. So one time, like, there's a bustle in the hallway, upstairs hallway, and my dad's like, shoot, someone's in here. And at this point in time, my dad didn't own a gun, or like there wasn't anything he could grab to defend himself.
We don't own a gun.
He was absolutely convinced someone was in our house. So all he does is
he just opens
the door, and then he sees Holden knocking on like the wall, like not a door, like on the wall. And then my dad's like, Holden, what are you doing up? And then he's like, I gotta find Landon. And then he's like, what? Landon's in his room, asleep. He's like, no, I gotta find him. He's like, I gotta find Landon. And then he tried to talk Holden out of it, but apparently, oddly enough, when you're sleepwalking, you don't seem to reason well.
Oh, really? I
so
never would have thought.
My dad's like, here, Landon's this way, and let him back into Holden's room and put him back to sleep. And then another time, I woke up really tired. I went to the bathroom, and I just saw Holden standing at the top of the stairs looking down the stairs.
Like, that's creepy.
I wasn't sure if he was sleepwalking or if he was just being really weird. But I was like, Holden. Didn't answer. I was like, okay.
That's like paranormal activity kind of thing. Like,
yeah, I didn't think much of it at the time.
Oh, like, that would freak me out. I've had, like, once, I woke up, right?
Well, we were much younger then, so late was like 11.
Okay.
Like
So,
when everyone was asleep was not that late.
Like, I've had some things where, like, once I woke up and someone was in my room. I'm like, oh my God.
No.
And, like, something, like I
For
was
the longest
freaked
time,
out.
I was so paranoid when I go to sleep. I could not sleep without, like... So, I was into Webkins as a young kid.
Really?
I had... At like
this is something
I had like
new.
50 Webkins. Like that's
Okay.
not even an exaggeration. So many Webkins. So I was a nervous little kid, and like I said previously, I had a bunk bed. So I'd sleep on the bottom bunk bed. I would sleep with a blanket over my head, my face looking straight into the wall,
sleep with
and
my
I
feet out.
piled up all my Webkins behind me. So I felt like I was in a little cove where nothing could get me. Nothing even knew I was there.
I'm like a person that's like I think this is built off of my childhood, and everyone else I talk to feels the same way. Like, I cannot sleep with my feet out. I cannot do that. And if I do, the murderer or the monster is going to kill me,
Like-
starting at my toes, okay? Like, they're going to get me.
No,
Okay?
I used to be like that, but now, like, I kind of start with the blanket on, but generally, halfway through the night, I'll just throw my blanket off my bed and just sit there.
I cannot do
Especially,
that.
like, when it's really hot, I'll, like, just... Like, I used to not put my feet out from under the blanket. But now, if you put your foot out, like, if you're really hot and you put your foot out, just your foot, it cools your whole body down. It's really amazing.
Well, yeah, because your feet, like, isn't that the place
For the
where, like,
longest time, I would wake up with a runny nose and, like, sniffling. And I
have a runny
realized it
nose
was
right
because
now.
I wasn't wearing socks to bed. Like, I would have my exposed foot out to the cold air
how
because I would
dare.
always
Do
fully
you
blast
even-
the fan.
Come on, Carson.
I realized the head,
Amateur hour over
the
here.
head and the feet are
The
where
head
the
and the
heat
feet are
escapes
where the
easiest.
exactly. Yeah, that's why, like,
But I have one more story of weird happenings.
lay it on me.
So, back at my old church, we had this thing. It was like Boy Scouts. It was called, like, Royal Rangers or
Uh-huh.
okay? So we went to a camp out, and we were at this guy's house, and we were all downstairs. We were watching, like, Open Season 3 or something.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Okay, and I remember my eyelids were really heavy.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then
Look,
I
my
go to
eyelids
sleep,
can
and I
hit.
wake up, no idea where I am. I'm literally panicked. I'm in a room I've never been in before.
That happens
Like,
to me.
I'm actually confused.
Like, I wake up, like,
No,
I'm
but,
at
like-
my aunt's house, right, in New York, and, like, I wake
Except
up
you've probably
and I'm,
been there before.
Oh,
I've
I-
never been to the...
like,
Just listen.
It's still, like, I wake up and I'm like, but where's my room? And
I'm like, where on earth am I? So, like, I literally don't know. I open the door, look out in the hallway, still no recognition because I'd only been in the downstairs part of the house. And then I look out the window, I'm like, oh, okay, I see the tents, I see the kind of camp
that would
area
freak
where we
me
camp,
out,
and I was
too,
like,
though.
wait a minute, what happened? So I asked my older brother, and I asked some of my friends in there, and they're like, what do you mean? And it was like, well, what did I do? And I was like, you don't remember. I was like, what do you mean I don't remember? And then they're like, well, like, in the middle of the movie last night, we saw you crawling up the stairs. I was like, wait a minute, what? So I'm probably smarter when I'm asleep than I'm awake. Because apparently, I crawled up the stairs in my sleep and found a spare room in my sleep. And I've never been in the upstairs part of the house again.
just like you flopping
Like-
out of the bed. I'm imagining, like, you slowly crawl it, like, that's...
Like, I don't even... It blows my mind.
Blows your mind. Like, have you ever, like, this is something apparently I do a lot. Like, a lot. Some of the funniest things I've ever said have been because of this. Like, you wake up, right? Like, my parents attest to this. I wake up and I say something so...
I think I
like,
know where you're going with
I
this.
say something so, like, out of the ordinary. It's insane. So I'm going to share my top 3 favorite. Okay? So I remember
Oh my
back
word.
when I was like 5, okay? So I wake up, I'm like sleeping in my parents' bed, right? I think I was scared of the dark or something. I wake up and I turn to my dad. And I'm like, Dad. And he's like, what, Aiden? I'm like, Dad, is the portrait in the basement still okay? He's like, what? And I'm like, the paint, the portrait. He's like, Aiden, what are you talking about? And then I'm like, I don't know. And then went back to sleep.
I don't know.
And then shout out to Todd Chavez. Then another
Who's
one.
fictional, by the way?
My this is the best one. So I wake up.
This is the best one. I think
I wake up, okay? And then, so my dad walks in.
Oh,
my dad often
is.
has to do this. Like, I don't wake up in the morning and my dad has to walk in and be like, 80, Patey, wake. My dad's like that. He says stuff like that. 80, buddy, wake up. And I woke it up and I'm like, Dad, get the donuts. Tell Amelia Earhart I'm okay. And I'm like, what? What? The Amelia Earhart? What am I talking about? Like, I don't think.
No, wasn't there a time he was like, "What do you want for breakfast?" And you're like, something. And
No,
then you're like,
that's
no.
it. That's it. No, that's it. That's what I said. Like, it's one of those things where I've slowly devolved. The memory's like degraded a little bit in my head.
remember this.
My dad came in. He's like, "What do you want for breakfast?" And I'm like, "Books." No. Amelia Earhart. And then
No, you said Amelia Earhart will do fine. And then your dad was like, what? And
No.
I started to walk away, and you told me that you went, no, Dad, Amelia Earhart will do fine. Like, you forcefully said that again because you didn't quite get your message across.
That's
there.
it. You see, like, again, like I was talking about, memories degrade, man. So
That's why you gotta have a co-host to keep track of this stuff.
But my favorite thing I ever said, Dad, 80, what do you want for breakfast? Books. No, Amelia Earhart will do fine. What? Walks away. No, Dad, Amelia Earhart will do fine. So the most recent one, this happened 2 days ago. 2 days ago this happened. So, and like I was immediately, like I realized what was happening. So I had a dream where I was at my grandfather's house, right? And so I was eating at his dinner table. And now he does not have a rug underneath his dinner table in real life, but in the dream there was a rug, and there happens to be a rug in my room, as Carson can see right now. And so I was drinking wine for some reason. I don't do that. That's on
This
the record.
is in the dream.
This is in the dream.
Jeez, calm down.
Yeah, calm down, people. Calm down, sheeple. But so I was drinking my wine, and then someone bumps into me, and it falls on the ground and spills all over the carpet. And then I wake up and my dad's like, Aiden, are you okay? I'm like, Dad, no, quickly, get the soap, clean the carpet. And then my dad's like, what? I'm like, Dad, the carpet. And I look down, I'm like, oh, that was the other one. That's what I said. That was the other one. Like, Dad, the carpet, Dad.
I feel like if I was your father, though, I'd just come to expect this stuff from you. Yeah. Just
and
like, okay,
do you do stuff like this too?
Not really, no.
What do you want for breakfast? Books. No. Amelia Earhart will do fine. Like, you've never said anything. I feel like you do that, though. You've never said anything along those lines.
No, when you're telling that story, I thought of another story, but now I forgot it.
Oh.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Come on, Carson. Well, like, dreams are like that. The more you wait, the more you forget.
There are those dreams where, like, you're not quite asleep yet, but you're like kidding.
Oh my gosh!
And then like something happens. For example, this has been a recurring thing for me. I'm playing tennis in my pre-dream. And then the ball comes from my face, and then my whole body just goes and I jerk myself awake because I think I'm actually going to get hit in the face.
This happened to me last night. I don't know what happened. This happens to me a lot. I lay down and then I have this, like, one of two things. I have this intense falling sensation, like I'm plummeting down a building, and I like jerk awake, like I feel like I'm falling out of my bed, but no, I'm laying in the middle of it, like I'm fine. Or I
think the falling situation comes from like maybe your head drooping, and then you're just
last night, the weirdest one. So we had previously watched Superbad, right? And in Superbad,
this happened to you last night.
This happened to me last night. So this is my most recent example. So in Superbad, at one point, they're shooting a gun, right? So we're lying down. It's 3:30. I'm laying down to go to sleep, right? And I close my eyes, and I'm right there. Like, I'm at that sweet spot where you're like right there, and then I hear a gunshot, like, and I jerk awake, like so intense, and I'm like,
what time was this?
Like 5 minutes before I went to sleep or something. It was like, I hate that feeling. Like, oh my gosh.
No bueno.
Oh.
And I'm sure you gringos out there hate that feeling too.
Yeah.
So if you hate that feeling, smash that like button.
I think we're at 58 minutes. I want to share one last dream. I want to share
joy.
I want to share one last dream before we sign off here. So, Carson, I had this dream the other day where we co-hosted an awesome YouTube channel called Taco Rock Productions, and you guys are helping that dream come true. You know, like,
hallelujah.
I'm feeling
I
all
thought
the feels.
I could actually share another dream, but we don't have to.
I think like
I think we're good.
I think we're good. So again, thank you for tuning in to another episode of Taco Rock Productions, episode 3.
Episode 3.
Episode 3.
We're getting
a
there.
landmark, Dreams. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to watch on Wednesday for what was it? It's Pico de Gaming. Pico de Gaming. Yeah.
So,
our new segment.
We're going to try to start implicating new things in the channel. So if you guys want to see something specifically,
skits,
you can comment.
Classic gaming videos.
DM us.
Yeah, send us a message. Shoot us.
A lot of you have been asking, okay, for 1, a video podcast, and 2, live stream.
So, one thing.
We can't really do that yet.
Live stream is so much easier said than done. And a video is so much easier said than done. I mean, there's so much more that goes into a video. Like, honestly, Carson and I do not look like we're ready for a video right now. Our hair is disheveled. We just got out of bed. We are not, like, my nose is running. I am constantly, like, moving my hand to clean it.
I'm
like,
moving around a lot. I can't sit still for more than 5 minutes.
We are not in the shape to do a video one right now. So eventually we will.
Yeah.
But we want to get a set location down that honestly, I think this right here looks nice right now.
Both of the spots we've used are pretty good.
Exactly. We will be able to. It could be done. We want to make it as perfect and right like we don't want to be like putting us like just doing it to do it, like not getting it 100%, getting it 90% and just calling it good. We want to get it perfect, okay? And because I mean we want to do the best for this channel. We want to show you the best that we can do, and we want to prove to ourselves that we could do it. So again, just look forward to some new content from Taco Rock Productions.
And then maybe if you guys want to see us do something different on our social media, like maybe do a Snapchat story specifically for this, or like Instagram live videos.
If
I know
there's
someone
interest in that, we will 100%.
Someone asked me to do like Instagram live videos, like question and answer things. Like I'd be down for that.
Exactly, I'd 100%.
Maybe,
but this is something I kind of planned out.
Like, another thing though is that we have to kind of wait to the future until we have a bigger viewership for that type of stuff to justify doing it.
Because like if we were to do an Instagram live, honestly, how many people would tune in?
Like
it'd be like
3.
2 or 3. So like again, we want to make this channel the best it can be. We'll get stuff out there. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Taco Rock Productions. Again, if you want to watch the previous, there's going to be a link in the description. If you want to watch the next one, there will be a link in the description. I'll edit it once the next one comes out. And I mean, should I put a link to Fletch Space? Because I've had a lot of comments about that.
Fletch Space? I don't know.
But
if you want to hear about Fletch Space, check out episode 2.
Fletch Space, check out episode 2. Make sure to keep to tune into the previous episodes. Fletch Space, just a little FYI for those that have been asking me, Fletch Space is not a thing anymore, and I am not taking the time to get back into it. Taco Rock Productions is my thing now. This is what I'm giving my 100% for. So again, we're gonna sign out finally. We've been talking about signing out for the last 4 minutes.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you
and
for tuning in, and see you around. Thanks for tuning in to the latest installment of Taco Talk.
Can't wait to see you in the next video.
It's been a pleasure to talk taco with you taco-loving people.
If you want to watch the previous video, check the link in the description or the box on your screen. Catch you later.
Y hasta luego. That was good, right?
Yeah.
I forgot to turn it off.
We can cut it.